Hey yo guys, my name is Deep and I am back with a bit more Wuthering Waves. Now, I want to talk about the Tidal Defense Simulator minigame that happened for around, 40 days right now? And it's gonna last an extra 9. And I want to talk about it because even though it's really good, like Genshin levels of tower defense good, it's still missing a bit, right? Because the tower defense right there is completely based off of Orcs Must Die. In Genshin, you had the reactions to work off of, and so they had a bit else to work with, you know? You go, oh, I do fire, I do water, whatever, it works. Here, you don't have that. Like, the closest thing you have to that is resistances. Like a fire guy doesn't take fire damage, I guess. That's not even done too much, right? Most of these enemies are just normal enemies. You're hitting with normal traps. And so what does this mean? Well, it all depends on the traps. So if you have shitty traps, you're gonna have a weird minigame. This is, from what I understand, a permanent minigame. So there's still a chance that they'll increase it in the future. They'll make it into something more advanced, more complicated. But right now, what's really lacking is diversity. I have a bit of gameplay here in the background of me doing the tutorial, doing the initial levels, stuff around that. And what I found here is that you can kind of have to switch up the strategy because most levels, like Orcs Must Die, make you use different traps. But at the end of the day, you're just going to fight the same enemies through the same similar hallway, and then you just kill them. If you don't, well, they pass. You restart the level, and you just switch up the traps a bit. What does Orcs Must Die do different? Because honestly, I love Orcs Must Die, and I expected to love this game. I've played around 100 hours of Orcs Must Die 2, and even though I didn't play Orcs Must Die 3, I'm probably gonna play it one day, right? And right now, I just don't want to finish this minigame. It's not like I'm just not incentivized enough. They give you gems, they give you this weird reward, and you could always do the levels whenever you want. Again, permanent minigame. But do I feel like it? Not really. I feel like I'm trash talking it a bit too much. And that's not what I want to do, right? Because if there's one thing that I want to get out there, is that this is one of the best events Wuthering Waves has had for, well, I wouldn't say since 1.0, but 1.0 didn't have much special, so there's not really much to say there. Well, it could be, it's like, I feel like I just want it to be better, because I know it can be better. Not that I dislike it, it's that I know it's not at its tip-top shape. So, what could it add? Right now, my main grievance with it is the amount of traps, the amount of weapons you're using, stuff like that. It's really just not enough. So right now, you have around 7 ground traps, like 6 to 5 wall traps, and what was it, 2 ceiling traps? I think it was 2 or 3 ceiling traps. And honestly, there's a clear difference between the best ones. Maybe this is something that'll change in the harder levels, and that's something I have to admit right now, that I haven't done those, right? But they're just lame. It's just not there. I mean, I'm constantly using the laser beam when I have the chance. It stuns people, then you get the ceiling shock trap that deals critical damage when they're stunned. You see, there's a bit of strategy here, which I enjoy. But it's so repetitive. It's so constant. But I don't want to talk too much about the negative parts, because I really do like this. I feel like I'm focusing too much on the negative. So, what do I like about it? Well, in terms of gameplay, it's super different compared to what it's usually been. So, of course, Wuthering Waves is a gacha game. I just got my Augusta to C2, and big fan of her, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, I've fought with her thousands of times to this point. And what could change here is different gameplay-wise. it's what could change here, what could take me out of this rhythm, is of course the gameplay. And this tower defense gameplay is as different as it gets from a gacha game, right? I don't think anyone is expecting a gacha game like 3D like Zenless Zone Zero to have a tower defense, but Genshin did, Wuthering Waves did, maybe ZZZ will have it as well, you know? And what's more impressive to this is that I really do enjoy it. I see the inspiration for Orcs Must Die, and I like Orcs Must Die, so henceforth, I like this, right? I enjoy the different traps. I think they're cool. I like the use of summons, which, you know, Wuthering Waves mechanic, and so putting it here as well is kind of cool. But I feel like it could have done more of it. Maybe it allowed you to use your echoes on the traps, or let you... damn, I'm talking about negative things again. Focus on the positive. Focus on the positive. What is good about this? One, the enemy variety. There's a ton of enemies. You're going to be fighting the same ones most of the time, but at least you're going to be shooting at different things, which is pretty good. In Orcs Must Die, my best comparison to this game, again, what could happen is that you had the trolls or the ogres, or the big guys, or the small little guys, or the flying guys. Whoa, that's a lot of variety, especially with the DLCs. Here, you don't have that, okay? It's a base game. It's a very initial base game as well. And so it's obviously going to have a lot less. But they've already come out of the gate with a lot of enemies. You have the shielders, the speeders, let's say, the guys that give movement speed to guys. You have the normal enemies. You have the big bosses, which I actually really like. I think they're done in a very simplistic way, but it's not easy. It's really not easy. I remember almost losing to the final boss of the second chapter, and I only didn't lose because my friend told me the strategy before I got to the boss. Otherwise, I would have completely lost. Like, that was no way. What else? I like the traps. I like the echoes. The enemies, sorry. I like that you can use your character, as I know, very simplistic, but I do like running around with Augusta, and so just having more time there with me is better. I also like the amount of levels that they have. For an event, which is, let's say, a main event, they've come out with, for an initial game, they've come out with around, what, 15 to 20 level stages, not including the infinite mode, which I haven't done, but I guess not much changes there, you know? Maybe it'll force you to change up your tactics a bit, and maybe use more of the game's traps, which is another gripe, that you don't really need to use all of them unless the game, like, specifies it for the level. But otherwise, like, the game's come out with around, like, 15 to 20 stages right off the bat, and that's really impressive. I enjoy each one in its own way. Of course, you have the initial tutorial ones, and none of the stages are too large or take too long. That's just right for a minigame like this, you know? They don't need to take hours to complete. This isn't a full-blown game like Orcs Must Die. It's a minigame. It's something that we're doing outside of Wuthering Waves to pass the time, and to get more gems for Augusta, you know, whoever's in the banner right now. And the best thing for me is that this time that they've spent developing this has obviously been spent well. And since this is a permanent game mode, again, I do so hope that they add the goddamn extra, just improvements. New missions, new enemies, new anything. It just adds stuff to it, and I think it'll become so much better. It stays permanent, they keep adding things to it, and you're good. You're amazing. Right? You're golden. There's nothing else to change. As a permanent minigame, which something Genshin did not do, which they should have done, by the way, this is perfect. Of course, and I don't want to focus on this. I do have some gripes with it. Like the main weapons, I swear most of them are useless. I spent the whole time using the basic weapon. And whatever, maybe it was just preferences, right? Maybe it was just something I enjoyed. But I felt like the rest just did nothing. I have this really bad clip, which I'll play right now, actually. But I sent the guys into the water using one of the wind weapons, or the wind weapon, and for some reason they just bash out. Like they go to the, like they go flying, they go woo, and I'm like, yes, I got him. And they land on the other side, still in the stage, still in play, about to reach the objective. Oh my god, I remember looking at that and just going, really, really, this is what this weapon is for. But maybe that's just me sucking, you know? I'm starting to feel like that's just me being really bad at the game. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, I just want to do a quick small talk about it, you know, quick, lightning fast, about 10 minutes, hopefully. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. I've been working on getting a new computer, and hopefully things will go up from there, you know? More content, stuff like that, more videos. But, who cares? I'll see. So, thank you guys so much for watching the video. I'll catch you next one. Please subscribe, leave a like if you enjoyed it, and bye-bye.